Ooh, it is hot. And I'm not just talking about the car. Welcome to Rip Roaring Garage, and I'm Alex, and today we're with the big boys. Now, look at that interior. Tell me that's not just smoking hot. Let's drop a little bit of the YouTube excitement and euphoria, okay? But this car puts a smile on my face like nothing other. I'm telling you, this car brings out the kid in me. I'm all smiles while driving. I'm gonna show a little bit of a tiny burnout. The reason why I'm not doing it is because I still have only 372 miles on the clock and she's still in the break-in period. I know some people don't give a rat's ass. I do, as somebody that works on them. I always tell you, don't burn out, don't drive it like a maniac. I mean, obviously a little bit. They know it's going to happen. Okay, I'm a mechanic. I cannot stop myself from giving some tips. After you do your 500-mile break-in, change the oil. I don't know, dealers, no, change it, even if you got to pay out of pocket, because all the excess from the fabrication, the wear in as the cylinders and the rings kind of get to know each other, they're going to shed some excess material. That's all in your oil. You want to get it out, filter and all. So 2022 Dodge Charger Scat Pack Wide Body. These are hot right now, and I got one out of luck. Let's face it, there's been an earthquake in the muscle car world. I ain't gonna lie, I've had old cars like this, you know, early 70s Continentals, and even my Crown Vic, old school. And I was always like, nah, new stuff, new stuff. Well, we have been living in the golden age of muscle, new muscle. These cars, they're not as big as the older ones, fine. We're not talking the 400 cubes range, but we're close. 392 cubic inch, that's still a big honking motor. And you can't, like 485 horsepower. Freaking A, this car is outstanding. This is the part where I'm going to talk a little about this particular car. Obviously, it's got, well, actually, this car was a fully loaded car. It even has that stupid tech package with the, you know, the radar thing in the nose, and I'm going to put a little video up here of it. That kind of keeps that adaptive cruise control BS. I don't care. Now, obviously, you can see I've been, you know, it's not perfectly clean. When I bought this car, it was like, all right, I want a nice car. I want something I can keep. I also want something that my mom can drive. Yes, my shop mom, if you're familiar with the channel, if you're one of the old school guys, she drives this car. 2022, I bought this car. Somebody ordered it. Checked off literally every box. There's no more options you can put on the Charger. Now, obviously, you can get different color interiors and yada, 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 but all the packages, everything was ticked off. Not the way I would have ordered it. I don't care about the tech stuff. I just like, you know, big engine, big exhaust, and a nice color, and, you know, decent interior. Okay, I don't even care about the sunroof. So somebody ordered it, they never picked it up. Put the deposit, whatever, I don't know, don't care. They did an inventory search, nothing available at all. But then the guy says, well, I got this car. I haven't put it into the Dodge search thing because I'm still waiting on this guy to call me back. He never did. He put it in for us because I said, oh no, we're taking it. The interior is what got me. Now I'm typically, you know, big four doors, low and slow. That's been my thing. Crown Vic was a little bit kind of, yeah, taste of that speed back in 04. And that's part of the reason why I didn't want another four-door, especially a black car. It kind of reminds me of that. And for those of you guys that know, you know, what happened here, you know. Looking at this car in the front, it is mean. It is good looking. It's got it. I'm telling you. I fell in love with them, and I wasn't really big. I was never big on Mopars either. And here I am with the Jeep Challenger, and I'm looking at a Hellcat. God, my wallet is dying. Anyway, so I bought the car, and it was phenomenal. The handling, people would think, oh, so much power, you're spinning the tires. No, not really. I mean, if you give it just like 2,000 RPM like that, you just go nice. You give it a little bit like more like a 4,000, you'll chirp the wheels, and you get to know it. Especially if you've been with rear-wheel drive cars, it ain't a problem. Especially right now that I'm in the auto mode. Quick little thing, you go to drive modes. This would be an SRT button on the Cats, right? Press it twice and it goes right into all the, you know. And why am I in custom? I should be in auto. Well, I guess I didn't customize the auto. Okay, fine. You pretty much leave it on that until you hit your 500 miles. get your wear-in done, get your oil change done, and then you can go to the track modes and go all nuts. However, when you do kick it out in auto mode, it'll this ain't like the traction control like the Camaro up there. No siree, no. This will let you spin the tires. It will not de-throttle you. It just, I don't know. It's pixies inside the computers that do things that make it feel like you're just flooring it. Car will kick out, but it won't spin out. At least, like I said, if you have experience, it's very pleasant. I was going in very cautious, you know. You respect the Scat pack, and you'll be fine. And it just like locks in after it kicks out the tail and you just go. It is such a good driving car, such a good road car. I mean, if you're thinking about one of these, I'm telling you, this is the way to go for a regular road car. However, before you do that, I will be putting out a couple more videos. The question is, everybody knows, at least those of you in the Dodge community, the Mopar community, and the Muscle community know, the Dodge just dropped a nuke. A lot of us were expecting it, but still now it's like we're looking at the mushroom cloud. No more Hemi. Oh, what do you mean no more Hemi? Are you freaking insane? They're cutting the 5.7, 6.4 like in this, the 6.2 and the cats and the, you know. And then you do it electrics? I think it's ugly. I mean, just put a photo. I think it's ugly and it sounds like a freaking just annoyed vacuum cleaner. Nobody wants that sound. I want that sound. It's not about going fast. It's not about, well, I mean, it is about going fast, but it's not about being the fastest. It's not even about having the most horsepower. It's about the feel of that old school muscle car. This drives like an old school muscle car. Yes, it's more modern, more firm on the suspension, but damn it, it feels the same way. The torque, very low end, 1200 RPM is where you start getting your good torque. I don't have to wait till 4,000 RPM. I don't want to have to rev it like a maniac. But bottom line is, this was an excellent road car, and people want them. And it's not expensive. Well, now it is. Fuel mileage isn't all that bad. I guess I'm used to like big boats, so for me, man, whatever, 20 miles to the gallon, fine. It's attainable. For us middle class, it's attainable. Honestly, like I said, I can't even put electric where I am. So I'm out of the market, even if I wanted. That being said, I may do a video in the future for a lot of guys. If I see comments, I got a buddy of mine, he's got a Q7 Audi SUV thing, and I first saw it, it's like, okay, you know, smooth, quiet car. It's electric, and if you guys want me to do like a review or, you know, a little drive around or something, let me know, and we'll bring it on the channel. However, that's not my thing. I want revs. I want shifting. I would like to have a stick shift, you know. Automatics have been part of American car culture for so long that I can tolerate it. That being said, a Scat Challenger wide body with the shaker package and a shifter, chef's kiss. That's what I'm torn about, actually. Do I get that, or do I get a super sport? And not because I want to be fast or whatever, it's just a look thing. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up because this is going a little bit, you know, long. But this isn't me jumping on a bandwagon. I didn't buy this car because YouTube, I want the Instagram fame, and I want the likies and the whatever. I mean, if you like what I'm doing, fine, I'll take it. But I bought this for me. Well, for mom mostly, because I'm gonna get my cat, hopefully. I love these cars, and I don't always go by what's popular, as you can see by the freaking city bus that's parked next to me. Yeah. That's mine. I do it for me. I do it. It's almost like a religion, honestly. It's so much part of my life. And those of you guys know that, okay, a little bit of like real talk here. I was in a bad wreck with my Crown Vic. Broke my neck. I got the titanium and bolts and all that. I was in a wheelchair. I was clawing at life. FML, right? Cars were the only motivator to get me to go outside and want to move. And it's like, that's a religious experience right there. When you find something that lifts you up and gives you the energy. Hell, I even started to work out. You know, I even look at us, we're so similar, cars and our bodies. We're machines. We breathe, we take in air, we have exhaust, we burn fuel, we have muscles like actuators and all that. Cars are the same. Well, not electrics. Electrics, they don't breathe, they don't have exhaust, they don't have the same, they don't need oils and lubricants like we have in our joints and all that. So there was that kind of kinship with these machines. And especially if you work on them, I know there's going to be people and they're, oh, you just bought it, you didn't build, you know, you bought, not built. I want to build my car. It's like, asshole, I built enough cars. Okay, but by doing this, we're actually showing Dodge that, you know what, we're putting our money where our mouth is. We want these cars to be built, because if these cars are not built, then 20 years down the line, what old junkyard cars is our kids gonna get? Nothing, because nothing's exciting anymore. Maybe the next video is going to be like my decision process, because I am, like I said, I've loved Camaros only because I had one when I was in high school. I had a Z28 with louvers. I even did that to my Camaro. I'll show photos up here. Again, there's rumors of a 909 horsepower, blah, 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 special editions, and I will cover some of my thoughts. So if you're interested in buying one of these cars, please stick around, subscribe, do all the likes and all that. If you're serious about buying one of these cars, even used, you want all the information. And maybe, you know, you listen to me and like, oh, this guy's an idiot. But that one thing he said makes sense. That's what I'm doing. I'm listening to everybody. You know, one last time, a brand new muscle car. Let's face it, Corvette, it's a beautiful car. It's a fast car. It's not an American sports car, especially now. Mid-engine, flat plane crank. Same with the Mustang GT500 and the Super Snake. They're nice, they're fast, but they're high revving and all that. For a road car, you know, going to a cruise night, a car show or something, you want something that's got the torque low end, you know, light up the tires a little bit, even when you just give it at 1,000 RPM. Or that's something. Like my Continentals can do that too, and it's fun. It's not about being the fastest. It's the end of the road. But we still got one last year. What I'm doing, I can't tell you what to do, what you should do with your money and your hard work. But for me, I know that this is worth a sacrifice to make for this car, for potentially another car. And that's going to be a heavy focus on this channel from now on. And I'm sorry for the guys that want me to do more repair videos. This is still part of my life, and it's a big part of my life, and I can't just let it slide. If we speak out, like I'm telling you now, I'm never gonna buy an electric car. I don't care. I will keep whatever cars I got, I will keep them running, even if I have to freaking fabricate an engine from scratch, even if I have to make my own damn gasoline. I don't want that. I'm pushing myself to work out just so I can go work on cars and not be winded lifting a tire. That's a no-go. That's death for me. Now, maybe for you guys might be different, but anyway, this is getting a little too long and a little too deep, because ultimately it's, you know, I want this to also be fun, and I'm gonna go to car shows and maybe even go to a racetrack or something with the car. Nothing crazy, but you know, just to have fun, just to show you what it sounds like, what it feels like. Because times and stats and specs and all that, ultimately, there's always going to be somebody better. There's always somebody stronger, faster, smarter. But what's your life, what you're living, what you're experiencing, that is unique, and nobody can take that away from you. So, I'm Alex, this is Rip Roaring Garage, and here, more than ever, oil is thicker than blood.